My eyes even got watery.
I got it. I got it. This one's crazy.
There's no way this was staged.
Do you
Yes.
believe in La Llorona? Yo, this setup.
Mi mero mole, huh?
I don't think you put this much effort to anything but Halloween.
I know. Sorry, guys.
What about Christmas?
Yeah, no, not happening. In case you don't know. Oh, wait. Before we begin, welcome to...
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know why you always try to say it if you can't say it. Welcome to the Cruda Realidad podcast.
Episode 7, you guys. We are on the roll. We always say that we're on the roll, but we are on the roll.
Yeah. I'm proud of you, babe.
Why is that?
Because I feel like we said we were going to do something and we do it. Mm-hmm. Like every week we've been on top of it. Even though we're super freaking busy, no excuses. We make it happen.
No excuses because we even had a hurricane pass by.
Literally.
It actually shifted our recording days. Typically we record on Thursday or Friday. Today's Monday. The podcast goes up tomorrow, which you'll be seeing it today, which is Tuesday. Welcome. I know there's a lot of dates going on.
So in case you guys don't even know, maybe you don't, but we have been posting it. For the past few days, Florida actually got hit by a Category 4 hurricane last Wednesday, right? It was meant to come directly to Tampa, and it actually didn't. The last few hours, it kept shifting further south, and it actually hit 2 hours south from Tampa, which is in the Fort Myers area, and it hit really, really bad over there. I've been reposting a lot of pictures, videos of how bad it flooded, how many homes were destroyed. The last time I read, the death count was at 47. It's just crazy right now. Crazy over there.
It's a lot of things going on down there. I know like the news typically shifts fast to like something else.
Yeah.
But they are suffering a lot, and a lot's going on down there. A lot of rebuilding, billions of dollars of losses.
They said it's gonna take years to rebuild that, which is crazy. I don't know if Mando has looked into it as much, but I have, because we're planning on hopefully tomorrow driving out there and taking as much supplies as we can, as like food. I pretty much posted it on my Instagram, like, what do you guys need down there? And a lot of people said food, gas, baby food, propane, what else?
Waters.
Clothes, literally everything they need down there. So hopefully tomorrow we'll try to make it out there. It is only 2 hours south, but apparently a lot of roads are closed or flooded to get there. But I did see, which I did repost, somebody giving like all the streets that are clear that you could go through to get down there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to go out there.
It was a tough hit. There was a helicopter view of like what was going down. And it looks crazy. Like, it looks like a war zone. Even the helicopter guy was like, yo, this looks similar or even worse to 9/11. Like, the devastation, the piers all ripped up. Everything closer to the beach obviously got a larger impact, because once the hurricane lands on the actual earth, that's when it's most powerful. And as far as it goes into the land, it starts getting weakened. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy to see images like that. Like,
yeah, and what's even more sad is that I feel like they didn't have enough time to react, because, like we said, Tuesday night we went to bed.
Yeah.
And at night we were like, okay, it's supposed to hit sometime tomorrow between like, I think they said 3 to 8 p.m. And so I'm like, okay, we still have time in the morning. If it shifted any, we still have time to leave, because we wake up at 6, 7 during a hurricane. Yeah. In the morning, we have 5, 6, 7, 8 hours to go to a better area, right? But when I woke up in the morning at like 8 o'clock, it has said that it shifted further south, and it was meant to hit Fort Myers area instead around like 12, I think.
Around 12.
So imagine the people that woke up como si nada that morning at 10 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever time people wake up, thinking it was going to keep going straight towards Tampa, and then them realizing that they only had 2 hours or so to try to get to higher grounds.
I feel like Tampa was pronosticado to get a direct hit before anyone. So if anyone was the most prepared, let's say, it was Tampa and the surrounding areas. So then when it shifts down, it's like it kind of catches you off guard. So that explains a lot why a lot of people down there were caught off guard, because the whole time it was designated. I guess the meteorologist said that it was going to hit Tampa directly.
Yeah, it was like a for sure thing that it was going to hit Tampa.
It was like the first direct hit in 100 years. So yeah,
and then
that's crazy. You know?
Believe it or not, now that we're talking about now that wait, we didn't even say this. Well, it is now October. As you guys can see, we have a whole new setup, right? Halloween vibes, spooky vibes. Some of this stuff I've had already. Some of the stuff I just bought specifically for the podcast room. But I don't know if this goes with it or not, but they did say that Tampa hasn't gotten hit because of some tribe from back in the day. I guess there's some I don't know. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, some Indian tribe that there's like a sacred, I don't know, spirit. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like a spirit, a holy thing that they did to Tampa, so we won't ever get a direct hit in 100 years. So I don't know if that will clean up later on or whatnot, but I find that kind of crazy. Do you believe in that?
I do and I don't, because I haven't really gone down that rabbit hole, but I had your primas send me a whole bunch of things. And even though I had heard about it for years and years, I had, again, never looked, looked into it. But it's kind of crazy how it's not the first time we were supposed to get a hurricane. Like, they were almost 100% sure that it was going to hit Tampa, and it still didn't. And it's been 100 years, apparently, that we haven't had a direct hit. We might get like winds, but never like the actual eye come through Tampa. So
yeah, I said it on our live. I said it on our YouTube. Thank God, here in Tampa, we dodged the bullet, because that bullet was coming directly to us. Not that we wanted to hit somewhere else, but
supposedly it's the Togobaga tribe blessed. Togobaya something. I don't know how to say that word. Tocobaga tribe, that they blessed the land. So back in 1921. So who knows? I don't know. Do you guys believe
that's
that?
100 years ago.
Yeah.
So is it 100 years spell for like how long?
I don't know.
I guess we don't know. But yeah, shout out to the Totobaga clan.
Yeah, we need to figure out what that is so we could do it around all of Florida.
Yeah, all of Florida for sure. But before we move on, I just want to thank all you guys for checking up on us, all the prayers that you guys sent to us. Like, it just means a lot. Like, we get a lot of messages.
Yeah.
And during the hurricane, like, people were checking up on us like crazy.
Yeah, they wanted updates. They were like, are you guys okay? Because we did kind of not post as much. One, because we were getting the house ready, putting plywood everywhere, trying to get sandbags, getting food, figuring out, okay, are we going to stay here? Are we going to go to my mom's? What zone are we in? I was even trying to help some family and friends that are in the area, helping them figure out what zones they are in. Because when I would ask them, hey, are you evacuating? Some would be like, I don't even know what zone I'm in. And I'm like, what the hell? There's literally all these resources, websites, and I'm putting you out pretty much, but it's not like it was my older family. It was some cousins that are around my age that couldn't figure it out. And I was like, bro, so here I am trying to figure it out for them, just to see, okay, like, should you move? Should you not move? Because believe it or not, my dad has a lot of family in Fort Myers or the Naples, Bonita Springs area. And then I have primas in Sarasota. So I'm like, yo, you guys need to get out of there. And believe it or not, they still didn't leave. I was like, what the hell? Man, as soon as I saw that it went to a category 4, I'm like, I am out this bitch. I was like, babe, we're going to my mom's, because a lot of people were a little confused. Like, what's the difference between you staying home or going a few streets down to your mom's house? Like, what's the difference? But in Florida, we are all in different flood zones, meaning there's A, B, C, D, E. There's different. So like the beginning, A, B, C, those are like the worst. Well, typically A, B. And as you keep going up the alphabet, it gets better and better, meaning they're like more elevated, more not prone to get flooded. So my mom was in a better area. So I'm like, let's go. Because if something happens, like let's say it would have hit here and we would have been kind of like Fort Myers is right now. my dad knows how to do everything. Like I could count on my dad.
Well, you can't count on me?
No. You know, like Mando by himself, the only guy here with a whole bunch of girls, because one of my friends had to come stay with me because they live in a trailer. Her sister-in-law and her nephews all stayed with us también because they live in apartments. So we opened our homes to them, and I'm like, imagine something happening and I only have Mando to count on to do like little things. I felt like going to my parents. At least it was you, my dad, my brother, like everybody. Y'all could figure it out. You know?
The crazy thing about you is that you think about natural disasters like The Walking Dead. Like,
oh yeah, like I always, any disaster to me is like, I'm gonna think of it like The Walking Dead. I'm sorry, like not that there's gonna be zombies and stuff, but that the world is gonna come to a halt and that we're gonna have to figure it out. You know, so and it's good. And even though I'm not miedosa, I'm just like, I just rather be prepared. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
You never know.
Yeah.
But I do want to say thank you to your parents also for opening the doors to their homes. They had so much food there for us. It was crazy.
It was a lot.
Just allowing us to live rent free for a couple of days with them, you know?
And bringing people on. Yeah. And my friend brought her little dog. So it was like a full house at my mom's house.
Like 20 of us? Nah,
it wasn't. It was maybe like 10, 15.
But yeah, talking about rent free, I think you owe me some money, babe.
Why?
Because you've been living rent free in my mind.
Oh my God, Armando. We're like all serious right now.
Yeah, I had to get the icebreaker going. You know, you guys say you guys love these jokes. So I had to, break the ice. Even though we're like 10 minutes in, pero no pasa nada.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Again, thank you to everybody that reached out to us. And hopefully if there's any listeners in that area where it hit, I hope you guys are okay. I hope you guys get electricity soon. Lo material, ya saben, it's, what's that saying go?
It's replaceable.
Yeah, lo material is replaceable as long as you guys are okay. And from what it looks like, there's a bunch of links for donating, which actually we'll leave down below in case anybody wants to donate, that are gonna help the people out. So hopefully,
I was at the game last night and there were so many foundations, so many donations. Florida Strong, the Red Cross, and like you could just text these phone numbers and literally send money. So I'm not. It was a lot. It was a lot of support and help going down.
Yeah, and I'm not going Florida, to just like Mando says, the news moves on real quick. Like I want to keep updated with my followers that are down there and see like how they're doing, if they have a house over their head, like I want to stay updated with all these people down there, especially like my supporters and stuff, because believe it or not, before the hurricane even hits, I posted on my story like ask us anything, because we still had like a day or two left till the hurricane hit as far as hurricane topics. And I had a supporter tell me, hey, I'm not from Tampa, I'm from Fort Myers, but I'll be thinking about you guys. I hope you guys stay safe. And así nos dijo, right? Tell me why the next day we wake up and it actually hit Fort Myers. Yeah. So I remembered that message and I messaged her, hey, are you okay? I just wanted to know. She actually told me that they lost everything. Their house flooded, that they slept on the roof, and that when the water levels started going back down, I guess that's when they got off, and they had to walk through water to like a higher area to get picked up by other family members. Isn't that crazy?
Can you imagine just sleeping on your roof? Like, yeah, I think that's crazy.
And like, when do you go up there? The hurricane is actively with the winds 130 miles an hour. Like, you gotta wait, you can't just walk up there.
And at the same time, you're getting flooded. Your house is just, slowly increments of water coming in that you just literally gotta go on the roof. Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy,
So yeah, again, thank you to everyone who sent us their prayers, and keep praying for all those people down there because they are still going through it, you guys.
Yeah. So let's move on to our spooky vibes. And the reason that we're here today, because Lily Bay, oh my God, Lily goes crazy this time of year.
Yeah.
Once like September 15 hits, she starts looking at stores. She starts buying all these crazy things. What is it, babe? Like, what got you into like Halloween? Like all these vibes?
I honestly don't know what got me into it. But I would say that I remember desde chiquita, like that was my favorite holiday because it was a holiday that my parents would just let us do whatever.
Okay.
We would go to a prima's house. We would all get dressed up. And my parents, they were really strict growing up. But on that day, they let us wild out.
Oh, okay.
You know, they'll let us go. And then aside from that, growing up, believe it or not, you might not know this, but you know how Halloween is kind of like frowned upon in religion, you know? Because it like worships the devil or whatever you want to believe, right? But my church, being a Catholic church, St. Joseph, would actually throw a like fall festival, I would call it, like ¿cómo se llama? A fair, right? A fair. But it was always the weekend of Halloween. Always, always, always. So all the spooky vibes were always there at my church in the back, you know? If it happened to land on Halloween day, because it was only like 5 days of the fair, let's say. And you know how Halloween can land on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
This year lands on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
People would come to the fair dressed up. And again, the fair, it was at the church. So my parents, they go get lit, right?
And it was a tradition to always
Yeah,
go, right?
always as the chiquita. They recently stopped doing that because they got a new pastor. And I stopped going too. Just kidding. But they would sell beer. It would be the last weekend of October. My parents would go sit with all my family would go. All my family lives in West Tampa. All my family lives in the same, like streets away from each other. So when our church would do that, it would be like a huge family reunion. All my tias and tios would be there. They'll all sit like in the little food court area, and they'll just be drinking all night, and they'll let me and all the primos and the primas just run wild, you know?
Yeah, you guys don't understand. Lily watches horror movies year round.
Yeah. Don't think it's just...
I'm over here trying to watch like the new action movie because that, you know, makes me stay awake, or a comedy movie. And nope, Lily's with her horror movies all year round. She even makes her nephews watch them. They love them now.
Desde que estaban chiquitos, I remember them being 3-4 years old, staying over, and I always have like a movie night with them. Always. Every time they sleep over, they already know. Movie night at least one of the days that they stay over, right? And I would always pick scary movies, and I'm like, no, like I would have to explain to them it's okay, it's not real. And little by little they've gotten to a point where they're not scared at all, and one is 9 and the other one is 10.
11.
Literally could watch the scariest gore movie with me. The other day, my nephew, 10 years old, watched 4 of them back to back. And don't think it's kid movies.
No,
he watches Insidious.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, like the craziest stuff. And then they could easily go to sleep.
Yeah.
If I tell them, hey,
solos.
go get something from the room and it's super dark, they'll go get it. You know, they're not scared no more, you know?
So I believe that's how you want to raise your kids without
without
the scare of darkness, without the scare of scary
no
movies,
pasa nada.
creatures.
And
this is something I haven't said publicly or even to you, but I have an intuition that in your previous life, you were a witch.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
He's told me that before.
Oh yeah, I tell you you're a witch, but like, I actually do believe it, but I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you guys why. One, because her intuition for everything is super good. Like she kind of knows what's about to go down before it goes down. Like for example, something crazy. I've been feeling something about my friend. I think they're gonna break up, and then bam, it happens.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not done. She had a dream once that her friend
that was crazy.
Had her baby in the car. Caused her friend, and her friend had the baby in the car before she told you, right?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not done.
But I want to get back to that.
Save it.
There's so many stories.
On top of that, like she could easily, I don't know if I said this one, she could easily read people. Like the vibe, like when somebody walks into the room, she'll like read them very, very easily, which is crazy to me. I just find it like normal as a regular person. But like 5 minutes later, I'll go ahead and talk to Lily, and she'll be like, that person was this really nice, or like their vibe.
And I'll even go into, and they're gonna want this, they're gonna want crazy. That, they're gonna be like this later on, they're gonna act this way, and it always plays out. Yeah. Always. Before anybody can even tell me, hey, we need to have a talk, I already know what you're gonna tell me. Always. But a lo que iba, that one story that Mando's saying, one time, again, I had a dream that my friend had her baby in the car. The whole dream played out like they were driving, her and her husband. The railroad track wasn't working. Like a train was gonna come by, but it never came by. Type of deal. So they didn't make it to the hospital, but they were on their way to the hospital already for her to give birth. And thank God I told her, because a lot of times I don't tell people and then it happens and I'm like, I knew it. You know, I already knew it. So that, I don't know what made me call her. And I was like, yo, I had this dream that you had your baby in the car. Yeah, see, right? A few days later, she calls me, bitch. And I was like, what? And she's like, I had my fucking baby in the car. And I was like, what? No way. She's like, yeah, me and Hera, that was her man, we were on our way to the hospital, and she started having like really bad contractions. It didn't play out like the whole railroad scene or anything, but she started literally having the baby in the car to where he had to pull over, call 911, and they had to tell him over the phone how to help her have this baby. And she had the baby in the car. By the time the ambulance got there, the baby was already out. You know, they were holding the baby, just waiting, you know?
So back to like, rewind to like 10 minutes ago, like when she said, all right, let's go to my mom's house because my dad is there and my brother and there's more men there, and if we ever need help, we go there. So what do you think I'm gonna do? And be like, nah, I got this. In the freaking, we end up in zombie mode. I'm like, you know what, let me not play my cards out. Let me play my cards out right?
Yeah.
And do this right, because I already know what's gonna go
even
down.
though my intuition was que no iba a pasar nada aquí, again, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Like, let's just go to my parents. And they were going to have like a whole get together. Everybody was going to be there vibing. So
we can aprovechar, aprovechar, chill with the family and things like that.
Yeah, but that's back to your question, like, what is it that made me love it? I want to say it was just that. But other than that, I feel like there's no other holiday that compares. Like,
for you, at least.
For me, at least, I feel like the whole season is so different compared to everything else. Like having to dress up, throwing Halloween parties, everybody dressing up, everything being spooky vibes. It's just, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because for Christmas or for Thanksgiving, you don't dress up Thanksgiving vibes, you know, or Christmas.
I guess Christmas, you just gotta sometimes dress up nicely. If you want
but it's
to,
not
but
like
there's not like a costume.
Yeah, it looks like you're just going to a formal party or something, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But now that we're in that topic, I do want to ask you, what is your biggest fear? Like, obviously, like losing a family member or whatnot, that's a big fear too. But like something other than that, like what is your biggest fear? Like, I don't know. Just tell me, what's your biggest fear?
You don't want to know. It's just roaches.
That's it?
Yeah. Like, I'm not scared of the dark. I watch movies. I'm not scared. I saw somebody post one day. Oh my God. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? I saw somebody on my Facebook post that you're not even supposed to watch scary movies because that can turn real. Like, her religion is that. Like, you're not even allowed to watch scary movies. And I was like, are you, like, what? Like, I've been watching scary movies my whole life y no pasa nada, you know? But yeah, I don't have a fear. I have a phobia of roaches. Yeah, that's a
phobia versus... I mean, when I was smaller, I always thought that whenever I grew up, I would never drive alone at night. Because there was always going to be like the zombie or like the monster right behind in the back seat. So I was like, hell nah. I am never driving alone. I got to make sure somebody's always with me. Are you like dead serious about that right now? Back in the day. Not no more. I don't care. Obviously, I drive everywhere now. But like before I even started driving, I was like, when I grow up, I don't think I could ever drive.
Did you watch scary movies or what?
Yeah. I probably watched 1 or 2 scary movies and that just like scarred me. So I wasn't a big fan of scary movies, or still not a big fan. Now I watch them because... I mean, I know nothing's going to happen. But back in the day when I was smaller, I'll probably be like one of your smaller nephews that really like trying to dodge watching them because I was not a big fan.
You still dodge them.
I still dodge them because, I mean, I'd rather watch action or
but he's stuck. He's stuck with it because that's all I want to
Yeah, we watched like 2 scary movies this weekend, which, you know, Halloween vibe. So, I support. You got to show love, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy.
Other than that, well, actually, staying on that Halloween topic, has anything ever happened to you? Is that why you were scared of like the back
no. Like, I'm not even a big believer on like paranormal activity or anything like that. Like, I don't believe in it like that. So I don't know if that's why it doesn't happen to me, or I've never seen a ghost. I've never seen nothing crazy. to be honest. But what about you?
Let me tell you. At first, when we started thinking about this, I was like, wait, what stuff have I gone through that I can talk about, you know? And I couldn't think about it. Like, no me salía nada a la mente until I started thinking about when I was younger. Oh, and shit. I was like, yo, that's some crazy ass shit. Let me tell you. I have a few different things that happened to me when I was younger, but I'll talk about the first one that I can remember. I was in Mexico. I'm not gonna say whose house I was in because
no, you better tell me now.
No, I was in Mexico, and I remember I was probably like 8, 9 years old, 10. I don't know. I was young. I was sitting in the living room and I was watching TV. And I felt like all of a sudden the house felt super quiet, you know? Like in Mexico, I'm not home alone. My tias are outside. My mom is back and forth, you know? There's people in the backyard. You know, there's people in the front yard. The car that drives by with the damn speaker and stuff. You know, there's always, you know, the fucking roosters outside. There's always something going on. But all of a sudden, I felt like an eerie sense. And like everything just get quiet. And I remember I was like laying on the sofa, and I remember I looked up like over the sofa, and I swear to God, babe, I hate saying this out loud because I'm like, was I fucking dreaming or what? I saw a fucking doll walking across the hall. Way. I swear to God.
How old were you?
I was like 10. You know them big old rag dolls? The rag
ones your
dolls?
mom has?
No. They're like made out of material, and they have like the yarn hair. Yeah, I swear to God, I saw one of those things walking.
In the middle of the day?
In the middle. It was like, no, it was already like starting to get a little dark. What? But yeah. And desde chiquita, when random stuff like that would happen, or when I felt like it happened, because it might have been a dream for all I know, right?
Wait, it happened more than once, or that was the only time that you remember?
That was the only time, but I remember even being that small, I wasn't scared. I would tell myself, Lily, that's not fake. Like,
that's not real.
Don't just keep watching TV.
What?
Like, that's not real. Just keep watching TV. Can you believe that? Like, I don't remember running to my mom or screaming to my mom or nothing. I just remember me telling myself, Lily, that's not real. Just keep watching TV, you know?
Can you imagine if like a kid from today, like Camila, sees that? She'll die.
Well, maybe not. I got my dolls upstairs and she don't care.
That's true. Damn,
but
that's crazy.
And then aside from that, back in the States, this would always happen to me at the house where I grew up at.
Wait.
What?
We'll talk about this after the break.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one. I think I know where you're going with this, but that's a good one. Don't forget. All right, you guys, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick break. First of all, sorry for interrupting you. You guys know that our cameras are from 1960s. And,
no, they're not.
They heat up, so you know what I'm saying. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the break. Don't skip the ads. But back to your story, babe. That was a little crazy. The first one. Tell me more about the second one, though.
So the second story that I was about to get into before I got rudely interrupted, Armando.
Start from the top.
Is, okay, so something else that I remember, and I know a lot of you guys might have seen this before because I remember looking it up and it being like a thing. I don't remember what that thing was, but I remember I had looked it up, right? So when I was living at my house that we grew up in West Tampa, I remember that I would always see dark shadows moving. Has that ever happened to you?
No.
Have you even ever heard of that?
Like just random shadows at night?
It would literally be like a whole silhouette of a person walking. Yes.
And where you at? Like in the living room?
So I would always see it when I was in the living room. I would be in the living room watching TV, and out of the corner of my eye, I would just see it like... And it would go, you never went to my old house, but it would go from what was at the time my kitchen to then what later on became my room. They would always go in there. Yes. Because the way it was my living room next to the dining room next to the kitchen. So it was like, what do you call that? Shotgun house, right? And then next to the kitchen was the door to a room. You know, so I would see it while I was watching TV or something. And I wasn't watching. I mean, maybe I was watching scary movies at that age. I'm pretty sure I was. But the fact that it happened multiple times, that's when I'm like, you know.
And
but again,
I would only at the house.
I want to say that I could remember, but again, like I wouldn't be scared. I would just tell myself like, no pasa nada. Literally,
it's not real.
Yeah, like no, don't look that way. Don't think about it. You know, no pasa nada. Because I feel like if I did think about it, I would get like fucking freaked the fuck out.
So
you know?
Is that what like if you guys watching us, is this what your like crystals are for, to keep the bad vibes away, or what? Because you got like she believes in like crystals and like the energy they bring. And she has a shit ton of crystals.
I do.
Upstairs, downstairs, in her
probably
wallet,
like 50,
everywhere.
60.
Is that the reason? Or?
No, that's not the reason. That crystals later on became a thing that I started collecting and really getting into, which I guess kind of go to, because some people think it's like bruja vibes.
I'm telling you.
But
I'm telling you.
I don't see it like that. I see it for the positivity that they bring, you know? And like the energies, and every crystal signifies something different. Yeah. So I feel my prima,
crystal calls you.
Yeah, my prima once told me like the crystal calls you, meaning like oh my God, let's give him that example of your wait, okay, before we get into that, I just remembered. But yeah, so you can be like at a crystal shop or wherever, and if you see a certain crystal, like me, I don't know what the crystal stands for right off grip, because there's so many of them. But once you pick it up, and let's say I buy it because I want it, and once I start doing the research on it, every single time it's happened, when I do the research, I'm like, oh dang, like I really did need this right now. Like this type of positivity, you know? It could be you know, one could be like for love, like to enhance your love life. Another one could be just to keep away bad vibes, or just, there's a lot of different ones. So it just depends which one. But back to where I was so shocked about right now that I remembered. One time, you guys, I told Mando, babe, I want to buy you a crystal. And he's like, okay, but buy me whatever. I'm like, no. It has to call you. Right? You guys, I'm not fucking lying, bro.
Let me tell him. And then
it's because you suck at storytelling.
No, then you're like, all right, pick one. Just go online and see what you like. I was like, you know what? I would like a black crystal. Yeah. So I literally, that's what I said, right? I literally went on Pinterest. I'm like, look, babe, this one's cool. I have no idea what it means.
You are on Etsy.
On Etsy?
Yeah.
I have no idea what it means. I have no idea what it is for, but it's a black crystal with like, I think white rocks on the bottom. Yeah. I was like, this look dope. It could look cool on my desk, and then go on.
Yo, tell me why, like 3 days later, that crystal arrives to the house. And mind you, I was like, did I order it? I was so confused because I'm like, no, I didn't order it. Wait, did I? Because it was the same freaking crystal. But I told Mando, I literally remembered not ordering, because I was like, yo, I freaking remember him saying, yeah, I like that one. But then I remember saying, I'm going to let him keep looking. Like I'm gonna look up that crystal, and from that crystal let him pick the one he wants, not just the first picture he saw, you know. So I never ordered it. I didn't order it. And then a few days later,
my perspective, a few days later, this crystal comes in a package. So I opened it up. I think it was under my name. I opened it up. I'm like, oh shit, babe, you bought the crystal. That was quick. This was badass, and I loved it. And I like showed it to her, and her face was like, wait, I didn't order that.
Yeah, I was so fucking confused because I clearly remembered not ordering that shit, because I'm like, no. He literally just real quick, you know, Mando, oh no, that one's good. Yeah, that one, you know?
Yeah, that's good. Leave me alone.
Move on. And I wanted him to really like look into it, you know? So, Mando posts it, right? And one of my primas from California tells him, oh, you got the crystal I sent you guys. And we were like, what the fuck? And she was like, she would always send me like little things like that,
randomly,
right?
Like, yeah.
And I freaking called her, and I was like, yo, you sent this? And she was like, yeah, I ordered it for you guys because you guys need it. It was basically that crystal was to basically get rid of all the bad vibes, you know? Yeah. So she was like, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? And I told her the whole story. I was like, yo, prima, I literally had Mando looking up crystals. He literally picked that crystal, but I didn't order it because I wanted him to keep looking and then you order it. Like, what the fuck are the odds of that? Tell me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tell me.
That's crazy. Yeah, I was shocked. And that's when I started, like, I don't want to say I believe in the whole crystal thing, but like I started appreciating, like, kind of being,
a little more into it. Like, okay, this
is
because that was too much of a coincidence, right?
And I know there's a lot of negative when it comes to crystals and like collecting, guess is real, guess is not. But I take the positive side. I'm like, what? I'm gonna take the positive. This is like to cleanse.
Yeah, if you go down the rabbit hole and you're trying to, link it with witchcraft, you're gonna find that. Just like I tell Mando, if you go down the rabbit hole of is the earth flat or round, you're gonna find whatever it is you're looking for. So I just like keeping them and seeing them for the positive vibes that they bring. It's like I tell Mando, because a lot of people get freaked out. What do you mean? Like they give you the energy or they make you feel some type of way? I tell Mando, it's just grounding. It's an element that comes from the earth. Just like when you go watch a sunset, the whole vibe of you watching the sunset makes you feel some type of way. Just like when you go sit in the sand or on grass, that energy makes you feel some type of way. Just like when there's a beautiful ¿cómo se llama? Full moon, all these little elements make me feel like a certain way whenever it happens.
Yeah, and talking about full moon, that's pretty much when you charge your crystals too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you guys, I'm not making this shit up. She's a witch, bro, but I'm just saying.
But you're still with me though.
True. But yeah, did you have another crazy story? Or
yeah. My other crazy story.
I'm telling you, I have no crazy stories, but Lily has 500 of them.
I'm sorry, guys. And again, it hasn't happened. Like things haven't happened to me in a long time.
Nothing recent, like around here, the house or
no, I haven't gotten no bad vibes. But this is something that I know a lot of people have that it has happened to because it's like a thing. I gotta look up the name. I need to get better with this looking up stuff. But it's that thing that happens to you when you wake up but you can't move. Has that ever happened to you? Cuando se te sube el muerto or whatever?
I feel like once, like you're like trapped in your sleep and you're trying to wake up. I think that happened once, but like long time ago maybe. I just had to watch a horror movie or something. I don't know.
Well, that can you look up the name for it too? Okay. That actually happens to me all the time. But it hasn't happened to me in maybe like a few years, but I remember it always happening to me. But again, I wouldn't be scared. I would just tell myself, okay, Lily, no pasa nada, go back to sleep.
Sleep paralysis.
Oh yeah, that. So from what I've seen, a lot of people, se te sube el diablo. I don't really know that shit. People say like it's that your mind wakes up before your body. Like you woke up too quick and your body couldn't react, But a lot of times I'll be like, I'm trying to like tap Mando so he can like wake my ass up,
Like that?
Yeah, like I like sometimes we are cuddlers, so we go to sleep like, and sometimes like when it has happened to me, like I'll wake up and I'll want him to wake my body up. So I'm literally like trying to like touch you, pero tú duermes como un pinche bear hibernating. So he never wakes up. So I just give up on that and I just be like, just go back to sleep, say a little prayer if you want. But if you try to fight it, it's going to drive you more crazy. And I feel like you're going to get way more spooked.
Oh my God. How often does this happen?
It hasn't happened in a very long time, actually.
Here it hasn't happened in the last year?
Watch it happen to me tonight. But again, I don't believe in the demonic side of that. I believe more in the science side of it, like
because if you read into it and you start looking for like what it is, you'll find it. You'll be like, okay,
you'll find what if you want to read. If you think the sky's red and you fucking go down that rabbit hole, you're gonna find it. That's so crazy. It's all about what you want to believe it to be, right?
Damn, that's crazy. Is that it on your stories?
Yeah, I think that's it on my stories. But if that has ever happened to you guys, the sleep paralysis, let me know down below. Or if you've ever seen the dark shadows, which is another thing.
That's too common. That's very common.
Those two are very common.
I've never seen, but a lot of people do say que, oh wait, I got it. This one's crazy. Before we move on, I got the chills. This didn't happen to me. This happened to my mom. My mom was at working at a restaurant, and her mom had just suffered like let's say a little accident, right? So she was in the hospital, she was in therapy, and getting better. So the next thing you know is that my mom was working, and she sees a shadow. like a very tall shadow, literally walking by, and literally, like, I don't know, like 10 minutes later, she receives a call that my grandma passed away. I was like, what? And my grandma, she was big. She was probably like 6 feet. And that she was big bodied. So then my mom always says that, like, she saw that shadow. And when she put 2 and 2 together, that's probably what it was. I was
what
like,
the hell? That gave me chills too.
I know, that's crazy.
Your mom has never told me that.
I mean, that's not something you go around saying, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a crazy one. But yeah, all right. Sorry, guys. That was intense.
Well, I believe, like, do you believe in the paranormal and all that, or no?
I do, but I don't really like
go down that rabbit hole.
Go down that route because I'd rather not, you know?
But what are you so scared of, like the demon side of it?
Scared of it, but like you say, you the more you read into it, the more that you start messing with your head about
Bro.
it, you know? So
like Mando said, I've been into Halloween my whole life, and we even go to haunted houses. I've gone to haunted houses with my friends, haunted tours. They do a lot of them in the area, in the surrounding areas, especially during Halloween is when they start bringing more out spooky story times. But one time we went into a haunted hotel in St. Pete, and this was years ago. And I remember that's when, before the phones, we would actually take pictures. And tell me why one of the pictures, bro, that shit was scary. One of the pictures that we took literally caught an orb. You know what that is?
Yeah, like a ring or something.
Yeah. Which I don't believe those to be like spirits or nothing. I just feel like it's just dust, you know, that you caught. But one of these dusts or orbs in the picture literally looked like the face of a devil, bro.
What?
Yes. That shit was crazy because the hotel was empty. And it was just like a group, and it was a guy telling the story of why it's haunted or whatever. And we would just take random pictures like into the darkness, you know? And but we would come out in them, you know, like the room wasn't pitch black to where you couldn't see nothing. It wasn't pitch black to where if they're playing games on you where you wouldn't be able to see it. No, it was dark enough to where you could see. But yeah, one of the orbs, literally, and I freaking been looking for that picture forever because I remember, I feel like I even posted it on my Facebook.
Watch somebody send it to you like today.
The people are gonna be like, I don't want those bad vibes. But yeah, I do believe in them, but I don't let it scare me, you know?
Well, now that you say on Instagram, on our podcast Instagram, make sure you go follow it first of all. We asked our followers to send us their paranormal activity, anything crazy that they've seen, anything bruja vibes, anything. So they sent me one.
I'm excited.
And I was jumping in. I wasn't going to jump into this right away, but it goes with your topic.
Okay.
She said, I took this picture at my aunt's house back in 2015. We were celebrating a bautizo. So the party ended, a few days passed, and I posted my selfie on Instagram, and my sister was like, did you see the little girl on the pic? It looks like she has horns and dark eyes. And I was like, no way. So I got to look at it and freaked out, and I freaked out and deleted the picture from my Instagram. But luckily I had my pictures on my Google Drive.
She sent you the picture?
She sent me the picture.
Don't fucking play with me right now.
But she says she's not scared. Nothing has happened.
I gotta
but
see
if
this.
you zoom in, you'll see it. So here's a picture.
Wait, give me. We're going to post it, guys, and we'll zoom in. Well, we're going to ask her, but...
Yeah. So here's a picture. Then you go to the left. That's a zoom in one. Yo, that thing looks crazy. I'm going to post it right here so y'all can see. Like she said, we're going to ask. I'm pretty sure she could. Do you see it? That's crazy, right? Come on. Let us see. Let us see.
What the fuck? My eyes even got watery.
That's
you see
crazy,
it?
right? It's like a little girl with horns. If you
hell no, bitch.
if you guys listening on Apple or Spotify, explain to them, what are you seeing? Tell them, babe. Tell them.
You guys, so it's like a selfie super close. The only background you see is like a little sliver off to the side. And the zoomed in part, you can literally see like, it literally looks like a child demon, right? But you can see from like her chest up, you can perfectly see her eyes, where the nose, the mouth is, and then you can see the horns.
I feel like even if that was staged, that's still creepy as fuck.
Yes. There's no way this was staged. Romy, you gotta see this.
That's crazy, right?
So this is a picture, and then go like this. Yeah, that is creepy as hell. My orb has nothing on that. Yeah,
not even close. That's crazy.
Can you see it? Ooh, no, and it's.
I'm not even gonna swipe that.
It's not even like a.
Instant chills, man.
Yeah, it's not like a. How do I explain it? It looks super real, you guys. It does not look fake at all.
But yeah, she said, I was scared, but I knew it wasn't gonna haunt me. But gracias a Dios, no pasa nada. It wasn't a big gathering, so we went over everyone. I'm sorry about that. I got into like a whole different thing. So if you zoom in to the top left corner, you can see the little girl, but she's not standing in front of the mirror. She's like inside of the mirror, and you can see the black around her eyes and some horns in her head.
Yeah.
The girl's face looks pale white too.
Oh my God. I literally got the chills.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like I had somebody else that I knew that took a picture and something like that happened, but I can't remember.
This was like, we got a lot of stories, but this one
That one was really good.
This one was good. It was good.
What, did you go back to that like area to see like what it could have been? Because sometimes like things put together and it being shadowy makes it look a certain way. Did you go back to check or no? Let me know down below.
Yeah, let us know. First of all, we're gonna get permission to. Hopefully, we can post it. But if we can't, we explain everything.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. We'll like blur out your face if you want and do that, and then the.
All right, here's another one, and this is a traditional one. It was the year of 1973, 49 years ago. My grandma was in her then before home. In Jesus Maria, Sinaloa. I'm sorry. She was breastfeeding my mom at pitch dark at 3 or 4 a.m. She hears something in the window and it says, ¿Dónde están mis hijos?
Bitch, don't.
She looks out the window and there was La Llorona. She said she looked white. A white ghost flying, and she was saying, ¿Dónde están mis hijos?
I got another story.
So the next day, this guy that other rancho called El Mentiroso told the people, and nobody believed it besides my grandma. And pretty much that's her grandma's story that she saw La Llorona.
That's crazy.
La Llorona is the most famous, if you guys don't know, the most famous scary thing in Mexico, right?
Correct.
Hands down. Do you believe in La Llorona?
I don't believe in it. I believe that the story happened, meaning the lady drowned her kids and then maybe her spirit came back and like haunted, because I do believe in ghosts and stuff, but I don't believe that it actually took kids and it would take kids and that whole part. Maybe the spirit came back, scared people, and that's it. But yeah, but I've never knew anybody that saw her.
I mean, it's just a story that has gone down through the ages, even the movie show and things like that. I honestly don't believe it because it's such an old story, but then again, I don't believe in much of this, so you can't really. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. But while you were saying that, I remembered another freaking story, bro.
A ver.
I don't know if you've heard this one. Okay, guys.
Damn,
so
you got stories for days.
I do. But I feel like I forget because I have a bad memory. So I be forgetting until like something reminds me. So when I was a teenager, I was probably like 13, 14, living with my mom, obviously, at the house, my parents. I remember one night my mom was like, ya apaga todo and go to sleep, right? My mom was already in her room in bed. And she was like, but before you go to sleep, go check on your brother and make sure that he's tucked in, right? So I was like, okay. I go to my brother's room. At the time, Nito, he was like, Chamoy Nito, in case you don't know. At the time, he was like, he must have been like 4, 5, No. Yeah, like 5. He was already able to talk and everything, Tell me why I go into his room and he's not there.
No way.
Yes.
He's supposed to be
He's
there.
not there. I turn on the lights. I look everywhere. He's not there. So I go like around the house, and he's nowhere. So I come back like freaked out to my mom. Like, Mom, he's not there. And she's like, what do you mean he's not there? So my mom runs over there, checks. We're looking throughout the whole house and nothing. Mind you, before this happened, like 10 minutes before, the bathroom door had locked. Sometimes like we would leave it locked from the inside. So then when we came out, then we couldn't get back in because it was locked. So 10 minutes before we couldn't find my brother, the bathroom door was locked. So me and my mom went outside. I had to jump the window. The window was unlocked.
Oh my God.
And go in through the window and unlock the door, the bathroom door from the inside, right? But it was quick. It was something that always happened. We always did it. You know, we go back inside. That's when my mom goes to bed. And that's when she tells me, go check on your brother. Make sure he's tucked in, right? So we couldn't find him. We're freaking the fuck out, right? I don't even think my dad was home. Because I don't remember my dad in this situation. So my mom, she's like, okay, stay here. And my mom walks to the fire department. We have a fire department, which is like 4 houses down from us. So my mom walks over there to tell them, hey, my son is missing. Wow. You know, my mom had already called the cops and everything. My son is missing, you know, whatever, right? So as she's walking towards the fire department, she sees a whole bunch of cops there, the fire department, like the lights, you know, all the lights and shit. And she's getting closer and closer and closer. And she sees my little brother there at the fire department, right? Tell me why my mom's like, oh my God, that's my son. You know, telling them like, you know, I was literally coming over here to tell you guys like that I couldn't find my son. And, you know, and the fire department was like, oh, ma'am, he showed up by himself here, you know. What, is it 4 houses down? It's probably like 5, 6 houses down, right?
Street down, let's
it's
say.
a street down, yeah. Like he had to cross the street to get there. And, so when my mom grabs him, of course, she can't go right away. You know how there's like child services and stuff. They had to make sure that it wasn't like anything else, you know? Yeah. So when my mom's talking to him like, hey, you know, what happened? Why did you leave the house? You know, what's going on? Or how did you get here? You know, tell me why my little brother tells my mom that he saw the door open. Remember, me and my mom walked outside to, you know, around. He saw the door open and he just walked to start looking for us, I guess. But he was so little that he lost like, and it was dark. It was at night. It was like 11, 12 o'clock at night. That he lost like his sense of direction, I guess, when he was like looking for us. And he said that a woman, okay, wearing all whites and floating, he was like, she wasn't, I swear to God, babe, you can ask him. Well, I don't know if he remembers, but he was like, yeah, a lady all white told me to walk this way, like walked me over here. And but she wasn't touching the floor. And
he's a kid.
Yeah, he's a kid. He don't know. I didn't make him watch scary movies then.
Oh
you know,
God,
like
that's fucking crazy.
Yes, he told my mom that so that, you know, my mom sees it as a guardian angel. She doesn't see it as a bad spirit. She saw it as a good spirit because it took him to the ¿cómo se llama?
Fire department.
To the fire department. Because in another world, maybe if she would have brought him back home, maybe if he would have knocked with his little 5-year-old hands, we wouldn't have heard it. You know, so thank God my mom told me, go check on your brother, tuck him in.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
But the fact that he said that, you know, he wasn't lying. Like, why would he say that, you know? And he's little.
Damn, that's crazy. I've never heard that story.
Yeah.
So those crazy stories, man.
I'm just saying.
You got stories for days. You got stories for all month, huh?
Well, no, I think that's it. Unless somebody else reminds me of something else. But yeah, that is something that we went through. And I remember my mom telling me when she got back home, she was like, yeah, he said that a lady wearing all white walked him over there. And we were like, what the fuck? I remember. We were like shook.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder if he remembers. I think he does. He does a little bit, but it's like very vague for him.
Hey, if it's vague for you, imagine vague for him because he was half
yeah, if
asleep,
he was like 5, I was like 11, 12.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Let's see if we could skip. Let's see if we could fit this in here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to play a little game with you. It's called This or That. Mm-hmm. I just want to see where you land, see what you like. It's Halloween vibes, so you know how to play it into the spirit. Okay. This or that. Michael Myers or Jason? That was hard.
I guess Jason.
Chucky or Annabelle?
Annabelle.
Witches or vampires?
Vampires.
Skeletons or zombies?
Zombies.
Scary costumes or funny costumes?
Scary. Graveyard
or abandoned houses?
Abandoned houses.
And then for candy, Reese's or Kit Kats?
Reese's.
Damn, you're quick.
So you're like, which one I prefer, right? Or which one I think is more scary?
No, yeah,
both.
which one you prefer, whatever.
I kind of prefer the more scary option anyways.
Okay, look at that. But that does it for today.
Yeah, that's it.
Our
I
time
thought you
is
had
running
another
out.
story.
No, that's it. I had two.
I'm so sad.
But we're gonna save them for. We got all
Oh,
month.
yeah. I forgot. We got all month, you guys.
We got all month.
I could be
for
here
these
all
vibes.
night.
You literally like this is the most bright and happy that I've seen you on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Just because this is your vibe. Which
Yeah.
vibes, guys? Which vibes?
Pinche madre, you're gonna call me bruja, Lily Bait.
But before we go on, I just want to remind you guys to count your blessings. This morning I walked down my driveway, and every morning I count my blessings. I thank God for my family, thank God for our business, thank God for everything. And then I feel like that just brings more good
Positivity,
vibes, positive
grateful.
vibes. I know we're in the Halloween vibes right now, but just be grateful with everything you have. But yeah, that's how I want to close out today's vlog,
But-
vlog podcast, I mean.
But all right, you guys, I hope y'all enjoy, and let us know down below any little spooky stories that you guys might want to tell us about. And that is it for today, right?
That is it for today. Thank you guys for joining us on the Cruda Realidad podcast, episode 7. You guys, see you guys next week.
Bye.